Kia ora. Last 2 days have been quite fun watching Microsoft Inspire keynotes and videos and the announcements. Microsoft holds 3 major conferences every year. There are a couple more in between, but 3 major ones. Build, which is in the beginning of the year, which is the developer conference. A lot of announcements came out of Build, and they typically sort of tell us what's coming into preview and general availability over the next 2 or 3 quarters. Inspire, which happened this week, last 2 or 3 days, and that is focused on the partner ecosystem. And then we have Microsoft Ignite in November, which is the IT Pro conference. A lot of things go into GA, and that time frames are quite exciting. So last 3 days we had Inspire. Inspire focuses on telling the partner ecosystem how great they are, and also what they can expect Microsoft's strategy is in their go-to-market for the next financial year, as well as some of the partner incentives. And we also talk a little bit about some licensing as well, so people can get a sense of what things are going to cost and how it's going to impact their businesses and also their customers. But everything is publicly available, and there are a lot of announcements that actually are pertinent to customers. So if you're a system integrator or a customer, this video has some things that you might be interested in. Obviously the main focus was AI, but that wasn't the only focus, but sort of led to what the other focus was as well. So let me quickly tell you what I mean by that. 2 main things that the themes were generative AI as a service and Copilot, Microsoft's tooling that they've used, which have been built of generative AI. Copilot is Microsoft's tooling that they're going to be making available, and in some cases it's available already in preview in their applications that they build. So if you're inside of Microsoft Teams and you're in a Teams meeting, you could have a Copilot that would read the transcript, and you could ask it things like, what were the main tasks that were assigned to me? Who were the attendees? What was the sentiment of the meeting? And the Copilot, using generative AI, would be able to perform a task and generate information for you off that, which you could then use in your flow of work. And flow of work was a term used a lot. It's a Microsoft term, and I really enjoy it, using it. I think it makes a lot of sense, being able to do what you need to do in the place you're working without having to jump out into a different application. So those are the 2 main themes. So let's talk a little bit about them. The 2 main things that we got out of Copilot specifically was get ready. So if you're a company, irrespective of a customer or a systems integrator or Microsoft partner, make sure you understand that Copilot is coming. It's not something that's not going to be there. Get your IT support ready, get your users enthused, and make sure they understand how it's going to actually benefit them. And there is a lot of benefit to the Copilots when used in the right place. So that was the one thing around Copilot. It's coming through. One of the things I've been waiting for a while was Copilot licensing. So what we know for sure is Copilot for Microsoft 365, so that's your Office-based applications, Outlook, Word, PowerPoint, etc. That'll be billed at a $30 per user per month. And even though that sticker price might sound a bit heavy, we'll talk about it in a moment, it's not as bad as what people think it is. The other thing was that business applications, have a look at what licensing you have. There's a very good chance the Copilots for business applications will be seeded as part of the licensing. So if you have a business applications license or one of the Dynamics products, and there's a Dynamics customer or CE is a good example, Copilot for sales will actually be part of that licensing. It doesn't apply to every single license type, so it's important to have a chat to your Microsoft rep or your systems integrator to make sure that you qualify for the Copilot license. But generally, most people are going to have access to those in the business applications, and that's big, because the things like Copilot for sales, if you have that and it's no additional cost, the benefit is amazing. You'll definitely, even if you're paying for $30, you'd find an ROI in no time. So those are the 2 big Copilot things. I'll add a 3rd one. Know that Copilot is extensible. So if a Copilot doesn't exist, you can build your own Copilot. So if there's a specific function inside the line of business application that you have, maybe there's a task in Dynamics that you want to have a Copilot made for, you can build your own. If you have a business application that maybe is bespoke or something that you bought off the shelf that doesn't have a Copilot, you can build your own against that as well. And that's a massive opportunity, not only to enhance the business application that you have, but also potentially to create IP that you can on-sell through Microsoft Marketplace. And there was a large focus on making people aware that Microsoft Marketplace is there. It's going to be revamped, and Microsoft are placing, saying Microsoft Marketplace is going to be placed in the future where you can go and buy these additional services that are potentially being created using the models to create new Copilots and new AI-based services. And that's a lovely segue into the other part, is in the AI space where you can actually build your own stuff. We have Azure OpenAI has been available in preview for a couple of months. We've been using that Fusion 5 quite extensively. Also, if you have our customers in previews, that's going to be extended. We're seeing new models coming to it already. It primarily uses the OpenAI models that are available through OpenAI, the people that created ChatGPT. But what's exciting announcement is that other open source AI models are going to be available as well inside the studio, not in the OpenAI studio, but inside the AI studio in Azure. So industry standard and best of practice open source models will also be available. So if you're a developer or a person that wants to build generative AI capabilities, you aren't limited to only using OpenAI. You can use any of the other ones as well that are available. All that sitting inside of Azure, so you've got all the protection, all the security, all the service catalogs, all the redundancy that Azure provides, with the ability to create generative models. That's really, really exciting. This is also going to be a place where you can build models on top of your own data, which is obviously very, very key. It was great asking ChatGPT for the best chicken soup recipe. It doesn't help me when I'm trying to build a proposal or trying to mine my own data. So that was really exciting as well. And from a person, I thought that was really amazing that we got that there. Let's quickly talk about the $30 per user per month, US dollars. Not sure what the ANZ pricing is at the moment. I'm sure it'll be available on the website very soon. If it sounds like a lot, it's not. First of all, we are assuming, and they didn't specify it and we didn't ask, that like with most M365 licensing, it will be an option where you can assign a license to a user, so it won't be a cross enterprise. We'll wait for confirmation, so don't take that as verbatim, but it's the most likely scenario because that's typically how M365 licensing add-ons work. The $30 you might be paying to a user, the amount of time it's going to save them to actually do more with less and be more productive will be a very, very cheap investment. There are a lot of things that you can do with the Copilots when it comes to generating IP and content that would typically take hours or days and require a group of people to be able to do in minutes, and have a viable first draft available, which is really, really, really cool. We were sitting in a collective with a couple of architects at the Microsoft office yesterday going through the different Inspire announcements, and we all as a collective said that if our organizations didn't switch on the Copilot for Office 365, we'd be quite happy to actually pay the $30 ourselves because we can see the benefit. So it's definitely going to add make a massive change. So to end off the video, two takeaways. One is get ready for Copilot in the Microsoft solution stack. Make sure your IT people are aware of how to switch it on. Don't be afraid, it still uses all your security principles. That hasn't changed. You have that amazing base there. Your data is not being used to train stuff, so that's cool. And the second takeaway is be aware that you can extend the whole ecosystem with your own Copilots and potentially your own models against your own data, and even build your own applications that could be resellable. So if you're an ISV, make sure you're talking to your customers about Copilot. If you're a company who uses the Microsoft products, make sure you're getting ready and push your ISV buttons to make sure they are helping you along the way. If anybody would like more information, please drop a comment in the comment section, and I'll be happy to respond with some answers and even do follow-up videos. Kia ora, have a great day and have a good weekend.